Our country has been bedeviled with a whole lot of evil things in our recent history that some of us even wonder sometimes if this is the same country we grew up in. At every time is one bad news or the other. And when they happen, we all scream, we all cry. And in a few days, it dies down. We move on like nothing happened, only to wait for the next one. Just about 2 weeks ago, a young man, Timilehin Ajayi, was arrested with a fresh human head of 24-year-old Salome Adaidu. Some Nigerians, suspecting what he was carrying, since there was blood dripping out, accosted him and alerted the police. He was arrested and they found out it was the head of this young woman. Now, what did he carry this head for? Of course, we all know it's for ritual purposes. Money. In our present country, money is everything. You must not just have money, you must have them in bulk, enough that you can throw around. Let people see you that you are throwing away money. Nigeria that I grew up in was not like this. This was not the Nigeria the military handed over to the civilian in 1999. I grew up in this country. Now, today, we have everything is broken down. No, we say we play politics, but we are play politics of national self-destruction. A lot of these children grew up to see that, yes, life is about money and you must do everything to have this money. We see people at parties throw money, even on the street, throw money. Nobody bothers. We don't care what we are doing to our society. We have a situation, mothers buy gadgets for their children to go learn Yahoo, how to defraud people. It's all about money. And sometimes when people like us talk, they say, oh, it's poverty. There's nothing like poverty. Some of us grew up from very, very humble beginning. I was in secondary school when this General Jeremiah Husseini that just died a few days ago introduced 30 naira school fees in Bender State. A lot of people dropped out of school. So it's never been a time that it's been rosy everywhere. But today we have in a society where, yes, the only thing we think, sleep, or talk about is money. Our family unit that used to be very, very strong have now been completely disintegrated. Just imagine a girl that was murdered, that have parents who raised her, trained her to school for that long, and was so brutally murdered with her body pieces. The father of the boy who was responsible for that, few days later, coming out to say that you'd please forgive his son and release him. Even if the father was to plead for forgiveness or to beg, is this the right time for such a father to do such a thing? And so you would wonder where that boy is coming from. We are in a society where we see a former senator, somebody that was elected into an office as high as that of a senator, displaying his expensive shoes, expensive wristwatches on vast social media, displaying his leather animal jackets all over the place, displaying his garage full of car, Ferrari, Lamborghini, Rolls Royce and all that in Nigeria and abroad, when there is nothing else that man did apart from being a public officer. We don't care about how people make money. The only thing we want to see is, yes, let's spend. We just want to see people spend money and we hail them. We rationalize immoral behavior. That is why we can hail people. People just go on the street, start shouting, throwing words all around and shouting money na water. And we hail them, even though we don't know the history of how that money came and don't know how such wealth is sustained. We are in a terrible situation and nobody is asking the relevant questions. Nobody. We are today challenged by absence of resolute leadership, both at home and in our public lives. But yet nobody is saying anything. Now the issue of Salome Adaidu is dying down. But for how long are we going to sit down and wait for another one to happen? For how long are we going to wait before we tell ourselves that yes, something is terribly wrong with us as a people? For how long are our public officers going to spray money, buy cars, build houses, do everything, spray money all over for the people they are supposed to be serving to watch? We have, like I said, we have made it look like, yes, money is everything. And so you have to do it, get it in whichever way you want. Doesn't matter if it is through ritual, it doesn't matter if it is through defrauding people. Just get the money. How long are we going to continue like this? For how long are we going to just sit down and wait for the next bad news to happen? How long are we going to do this? We see religious leaders display wealth like no man's business. Expensive cars, expensive clothes, and do all sorts of things. Yes, life is good. Yes, it's good to enjoy life in good way. But you don't need to exaggerate your wealth. When are we going to sit down and ask ourselves, if this generation is like this, what happened to the generation they are going to raise? What will happen? And we are not asking questions. There are some things we must tell ourselves, and that is the truth. A stitch in time, they say, saves nine. How do you expect children killing their own mothers, their own brothers, their own sisters, brothers killing brothers, all because of money? Young children, 15, 18 years old, planning their own kidnap just to defraud their parents. To do what with this money? When are we going to sit down and tell ourselves the humble truth that yes, we have failed, so that we can start to make amends?